This is one of the fastest JDM cars in all of Forza Horizon 5, and today we're gonna be diving into the top 5 fastest JDM cars, as well as the tune codes for them, because sometimes I don't include tune codes and you guys apparently want them, so they'll be included in today's video. So diving into number 1, unfortunately this might be the rarest car on today's list, but it's the Honda NSX-R GT, and although it is specifically the GT edition of this car that I am using in today's video, there are other editions. I just don't believe they're quite as fast. But if you're still looking for the Honda NSX, you can get one relatively cheap. But in terms of top speed for this car, you can already tell it's insane. We're going 280 miles per hour. I rounded up. Sorry, it was 279. Which is just... oh, there we go. We hit 280. It's just completely absurd, especially for a car that looks this cool. But anyways, this is the first one on today's list. Let's go ahead and dive into the next one. Next up, we have another JDM car. Obviously, it's the Lexus RCF. It doesn't look special at all when you're just looking at it in this menu. And even once you get onto the road, if I'm being honest, this looks like a dad car or a soccer mom car. There's nothing, like, it's a little sporty looking, but it doesn't look like it should be one of the fastest JDM cars in this game. Now, as far as the engine goes for this car, I'm pretty sure it's swapped. It still sounds really great though. And if you look to your right, that is the gentleman we just sent off the road. But you know what? I think I understand what RC sounds for, because it looks like a remote control car and sounds like a remote control car with all these upgrades on it. Now, in terms of a top speed, it's not as fast as the one we previously saw, but it still can hit about 270 miles per hour, going perfectly straight for long enough. But it takes a little bit of time on a straightaway to eventually hit that top speed. I don't even know if we'll be able to do it on this highway. We'll get very close though, 268. Oh, it really wants to tick past, but we gotta go around some traffic. Anyways, this is the next one. Let's move on to the one after this on today's list. Next up, we have a Mazda RX-7. It's a Spirit R Type 8 2002. There's a tongue twister for you. And there are a lot of RX-7s in this game, and all of them actually are relatively similar in speed. Obviously, it's a fast car. And this is a lot like the... I picked this one because this is the car that Han drives in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Obviously, I'm gonna pick this. But as a top speed, this car nears 267 miles per hour under ideal conditions again. It sounds incredible. I don't know how you could not enjoy this car. Like, there's literally nothing to not like about it. It's also a phenomenal drift car. I don't know if I could have even gotten around that perfectly. We might just stay on the shoulder. I'm gonna see right here what we can end up reaching for our top speed. This is generally around the time where we hit it. 263, 264, 265, 265, 266. All right, let's move on to the next car on today's list. Also, I said I'd give the share codes. This is the one for the RX-7. I'm gonna go get the other two right now. This is the tune I use for the Lexus RCF, and this is the tune I use for the Honda NSX RGT. Anyways, let's move on to the next car on today's list. And next up is the Mitsubishi GSX Eclipse 1995 edition. This is the tune code that I will be using to achieve that top speed. And I think it's really cool that there's so many Fast and Furious cars. Now, I know a big theme in Fast and Furious is the JDM cars, so it's gonna make sense that a lot of them are on today's list, but they really are fast. They kind of nailed it right on the head, because this car, obviously the Mitsubishi Eclipse from the first Fast and Furious, achieves a top speed of around 270 miles per hour in the perfect conditions, which is just crazy fast. I think that's like 450 kilometers an hour. Now, it is unfortunate because the fastest car we have in this game is like 310 miles per hour, whereas in Forza Horizon 4, we had a car that went like 325 miles per hour. All the cars just felt a lot faster in Forza Horizon 5. But let's see if we can squeeze out that 270. Oh, I didn't see it on the screen. I really tried to get there. But anyways, let's move on to the final car on today's list. And you guys knew it was coming. It had to be on today's list, and it had to be number 1. And this is the tune code I'm going to be using for it. And with the use of this car today, look at that. Oh my goodness. With the use of this car today, that puts 4 out of our 5 cars on today's list from Fast and Furious movies. Look at that. It couldn't even take that corner without skidding. It's got so much horsepower. Oh my goodness, this thing's hard to control. You definitely want to try and keep this in a straight line if you plan on using this tune code for it. But as you can see, it's up and away the fastest car on today's list. That being said, it is very close to the NSX-R GT, so if you have the patience to search for that rare car, I highly recommend you do. It's just very hard to find because I don't think it sells for very much either. I think it's price capped at like 3 million. But anyways, boys, if you made it all the way through to the end of the video, let me know with a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe to catch more uploads just like this. We'll see you in the next one. I'm out. Oh, peace.